You can't be a successful leader onyame asori mo. Whereas you leader no onye spiritually above your congregation. Insuo ne kura mi ayema. Insuo ijina oma Pastor Melchizedeck, elder uche mi anasofu bi a ohwem. You can give when you have content, but you can't give when you are empty. The Paul say, so paying software, making sure say we are connected with your source. Making sure say we are knowledgeable. Making sure say Yesu afa say na dwuma yeni. And no ansa na why you failed no what me ahwe nyame asoro so. Anwumrei Ebraya to ye ndwumadie ne so no. Mesre anidie mo. Se unim sofo bi unim asorpanyin bi unim asore kanini bi a. Please send a message to him. Send a WhatsApp message to him or a text message. And now betumi afre no. Say omra na Yesu ba betuye nyina afo. Don't see say osofo small boy bi na ekasa obey mistake. Ho say nyame na asoma no na nyame fa no so atu nyame asori mu akanifo nyina afo. Na boy ne asiese ne ma ama ne second coming na enche no waba. Momo bebre send the questions. Oduma nkoma de cheye ne a. Amakwan a yawo that we will attempt to answer some of the questions. Yen textbook ye use for this seminar. The Holy Bible. The Holy Bible. Medie ni timesero no wa fa wo de. Nefa pen ana paper. Ana pencil bibia obetumi dia making notes biara. Na ye nyina ye nsua de together. Enra ya ka say asori bia ekoso ye bia ne leaders no connected with Christ and they are filled with the Holy Spirit. Enra ya ka say asori betumi aye emma nanso no mo nyina omo ne Nyankopon relationship bia the church is dead. Enra ya can say the spirituality of a church is measured by the leadership. Asori no mu kan kro. Sempanyimfo edi anim no nim nyame nsoro nyame a. Asori no ntumi nkonkan ne bewu. Therefore, there is the need for us as pastors and elders, church leaders, for us to make sure, say, number one, nyame na afrayin. Number two, you are connected with the afrayin no. No wa empower yen, wa equip yen. Ne tumi aye na dwuma. Ene enumre nia yesuan ho asem ye the opposite of yesterday. The characteristics of a strong church. Or the characteristics of a healthy church. So for enra wo kire ye asori a ewu ana e wonam kwan so ebewu. Niema ben ne gina ho kire se asori niema nkoyi. Yesua edumienu se wanya part enra mesreko Hope TV for YouTube page and our Facebook page. Now what about asoria eye nyame nim kama ekoyi? Osofo mede unsa asoria midi animo no Onyankopon kan yen ho nkonkron no wa asoro num ote asoro ma no so. Eno na anwumre Yesu 10 characteristics of a healthy church. Maybe some penny for yeti anwumre. And all pastors listening to us tonight. How would you feel, sir? President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, was appointed as a minister in his government. I think that you'll be so happy, so proud. Say, Omampenyi eyi na soafo no, wabo odin aka ho. Onye ni paketo. But adwuma bia ni wiase a Animonyam wom, enhyira wom, akatua ne ye papa pa. Chense Yesu Kristo afa se wo dinasori anim as a pastor or as an elder. There is no work on earth that can be compared. Ebi no. Say nyame point to say you are the pastor of my church. You are the elder of my church. You are the departmental leader of my church. There is no work on earth, no vocation, no profession that can be compared. If they say the obo soro boss asase wiase nyina ewura na wa power say work in his government. Wakatua unya double or spiritual remuneration and you have physical remuneration. But so men so o ya software conference betuaka, union betuaka, division betuaka, general conference betuaka. Afe honhom so nyame sa ma okatua papa. Some for the departmental leaders of the local church, you are not paid. But God makes sure say authority insurance you go mo adwuma so mo maso mo yerenom so ema omo ye prompron. Say there is a say. If you do it well, God will reward you. So we are being called into a profession or a vocational. And yet the honor of heaven and earth na friends say anya adwuma ma no. Into obambo senensa de ubedie senensa de obenom senensa de odi utubeto senensa ne sa no nti se obeye sa ma wonti either through the church organization or through human beings or say ye adwuma na odoma nkomade asa yensa na ye de ya ho odin nyina ya dwene nyina ye sika nyina ye nim de nyina ye, because if we do it well, there's a reward for us here on earth, and there will be a reward for us when we get to heaven. Matthew, chapter number 16, verse 13 up to 20. Matthew 16, verse number 13 up to 20. Yes, we share for. I was a mama moko town. Then I'm what what are people saying about me? Oh, Master, binim say we John the Baptist, a bit so we Elijah, binim so we away, binim so we away. And Jesus asked them, so what do you also say? Now Simon Peter say, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Or say, for me, there, unya Elijah, unya John the Baptist, unya nyankopon bakrono. And listen to what Jesus said. And Jesus answered and said to him, blessed are you, Simon, Bar Jonah. For flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter. And on this rock, I will build my church. Emphasis on my church. And the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatever you bind on earth, it will be bound in heaven. And whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Then he commanded his disciples that they should not tell anyone that he was the Christ. So for the okay in our part, they say, as a training in an say, a sorry nura. And with a greater respect, I say this with no apology to anybody. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, memenda kwanyofo asore no, eno ni nyankopon asore, period. It is the church of God, 100% owned by Jesus. Until Peter said, my church, I will build my church. Implications on the doors. My main said me and some with you. Number one, a sorry way nipa sorry. Yesu dianti pesa asori we succeed. We need to connect with the owner, normal and resources to make the church succeed. Implication number 1. Say the enia yadwene. Yenia nimudie, yenia BA in theology, yenia MD, D-Min, whatever degree we have. Say the D asori a spiritual church way anymore. This church will fail. By a connected with the asori the Jesus Christ now, he will give us resources for this church to succeed. Implication number 2. And now sa asori ye owura ne de nti. Ono na appointing the workers. Yesterday we mentioned it, and we want to repeat it today. This church, it is Jesus who appoints those who should lead. Ain't wrong to say in the local churches, in the union, in the conferences, in the division, and in the general conference, every structure of this church, obey lobby for power, for position, is wrong. The owner appoints his own people. Jeremiah, you read it yesterday. I say, I will give you shepherd. I will give. So let us not never in our own imagination strategies to come to power, to come and lead the church of God. No. And those colleagues of mine, friends of mine who are in theological schooling, you want to become pastors, make sure, I am begging you, make sure, sir, he has called you into ministry. And yes, sir, you'll be frustrated. Implication number 3. So why nye juma we ya? Ohobechero. Asasi so ohobechero. Heaven ebebo. If you lead the church of God and you don't lead the church of God with the Spirit of God, you don't allow God to use you to lead his church. Now ma sorry ya basa, pastor, elder, deacon, ubenya problem. Bible say no man can there. I am so passionate by the grace of God about what we are sharing together. Jesus say, a city on a hill cannot be hidden. And we light a lamp and put it on a lampstand so that it shines for people in darkness. No more light no more. If there is any church where you say you want top, you light to the water, it is this church. But the question is, are we? Are we a city on a hill? Are we a lamp on a lampstand? Are you burning other Pentecostals, charismatic, Sunday keepers, even Muslims to come into our light? Are we? So yet they are not just there's something wrong. We need to fix it. We are not connected. Church. Church. It is not the building. Church. And yet dino. Nipano. The Greek word translated said church, ecclesia, is called out people. Nipa bia nyame afre for one together. Near from one church. And yet the building. And today the context is about the people, not the building. So for we'll say characteristics. Nema be aware chresa sorry we there nyame tim. Sorry we there. Yesu dia onkonkro no afa. What are the signs? And no Yesu there I wo anenam kwansu. So what are the signs that will show say sorry as a so panyin me di animu no nyame anu agye ho. God is happy with us. Pacho chere. So obetumi a ni die mu a. Number 1. Asoria, a strong church, healthy church, living church. Emum penyimfo no. Any asoromano dodo nwara are filled with the Holy Spirit. Any church that is strong, any church that is alive, any church that is healthy, the pastor, the elders, the departmental leaders, the members, majority of them, I can't give percentage, are full of the Holy Spirit. In that church, and now say we are filled with the Holy Spirit in tea. Carnal minds in the church, is the spirit that quickeneth and makes them do things. They don't tolerate sin in that church. The fruit of the Spirit, it happens effortlessly. A dead you are sort of manum. Oh, no door, Nije, Abojotra, Yemie, Papa, Gidi, or Joe. A daddy, or Dowa, Soronum. Nkabomu wa sudden, no competition. Because the members are filled with the Spirit, the leaders are full of the Holy Spirit. No question is, Yamima, Yenya Asoribia 100%, every member is filled with the Holy Spirit. But in any healthy living church, majority of the members, full of the Holy Spirit. Disani amaniema na ekoso wo asori a ewu ana asori ewu no. It doesn't happen. Unnecessary things. Money wiase niema program. In the living church, because of the Holy Spirit, with them and in them, He directs and dictates what goes on. And the way the car back, a channel, sa competition, we address we channel different style. Sa nema no, kana nema. It doesn't happen there because the members are being controlled by the Spirit of God. Paul says, as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the children of God. So God's Spirit leads the members in that church. Question. Pastor, elder, any DM1, Pacho, my boom for me, a small boy. What shall I sorry no more? That's the same. Sorry, man, filled with the Holy Spirit, majority. And I the other way around. A healthy church has these characteristics. To the fruit of the Spirit, the gift of the Holy Spirit is manifested in the members. Sa sorry no more. Oka ujna pulpit now be a lead prayer and I say, the home canon or mumpire mayana, obet say nipa be 10, 20, omunyina no the same time, obi apaso bompire. Because of the Holy Spirit in them and with them. But the converse, the no. But I come on pie, my mutu regional 2 minutes, no be a me no. Number 2, of a healthy church. The doctrines and the practices are biblically based. The doctrines and the practices are biblically based. They are sorry biya. Is there a biblical support? So, Bible mahon kwan say yenye obisa ansa no waye. Mama Irene Fisa in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse number 1, Paul a warning ye. Say we ye brem nkrofo bi de nkyerɛkyerɛ be wura asɔre num a enye biblically based. No mo be ya twini pani bi akɔ nti yenye careful elders and pastors. And that is why we need to be at the Sabbath school when it's being taught. I've been to certain churches that during Sabbath school time, some Sabbath school teachers were teaching something that is contrary to our doctrines. What the Sabbath school not to chenkra. Now what veer to one own way, no church, but every healthy church preaching biblically based. Teachings biblically based. Everything biblically based. Isaiah 8:20, very popular text. To the law and to the testimony, if they don't speak according to it, there's no light in them. Everything biblically based. Into more sorrows, and more ye be biblically based. And Pacho, Eda, Montras and Amon Reneme. Nchire bi ba mamen kan wasem. Aba. Don't be offended. So come on, believe in what? Say chin chin china. Communion service. I was say yeah na 12 a.m. and now 11 p.m. Echo 1 a.m. If it's abrano na Yesu ye ya call Gethsemane. Any Bible mu, any ezie book biemu. Crofo na chere sa men ka say we a false prophet and now we a false teacher. I've not said that. But I'm saying that it is not in the Bible. Everything should be in the Bible. Let us be careful. Elders and pastors, let's guard the flock. And yes, bonsam. Will lose them. Every healthy church, thus saith the Lord. Pastor, to say, what sort of sign here? Number 3, every healthy church has an uncompromising conviction. There is no compromise on faith and doctrine in that church. Asori say we ought to obey God than men. Okay, brother Chief Peter, Acts chapter 4. On it, John. Peter started so kasa. But Peter and John answered and said to them, whether it is right in the sight of God to listen to you more than to God, you judge. Acts 5:27-29. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council. And the high priest asked them, saying, did we not strictly command you not to teach in this name? What is that name? Jesus. And look, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine and intend to bring this man's blood on us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. Sorry, nyamia sorry, healthy. Me come memenda kwa for sorry. God first. Everything last. They are convicted. Bibia, it's God first. Say nyamia kan dey anu ye be adwuma. That's it. God first. Number 4. Prayer and faith. Mpaibo ni jidie wo Yesu mu. Eye very strong and powerful in that church. Within the members, omu ji Yesu di 1,000,000,000% if you please. Mpaibo omu ji di say they are so ye ne they omu ka omu asem kire na obetiri obeyo. So that is what they do. Prayer and faith. This is sorry no more. So doctor declare obi say enyi. Enti onko fie no onko. There was a software friend as some penny for no more declare 3 days or whatever days fasting. Then they go, they anoint the sick. Prayer and faith in Jesus, very strong. They don't take no for an answer as far as Nyameniyama is concerned. But before the adre there, the nipa baby and yetumi ayanti. Umi nya into no, yebe bo ho mpa ye nyame be ansa nyame be biribi. Sa soro nan so mo gi Yesu di no mo fa mpa e bo serious nti. The kwasem ne say nyame ba Jesse obi time waso say erade say onkoda, or else people don't die in most cases in those churches. No, it doesn't happen.